Yep, I'm going to go ahead and call it. 2017 is going to be the year squonking reemerges, and let me tell you why. Because I said so, you bitches. No, I'm kidding. Okay, squonking it's been around since 2010, since 2011, since when I first started. Am I stuttering? First of all, squonking. For those of you guys who do not know what it is, you got your squonk mod, right? And you got your bottle, right? That sits in the mod. You squeeze that, it shoots juice up through the RDA. That's what squonking is. It's basically dripping from the bottom. But the reason why I think it's going to reemerge this year, 2017, is because I'm seeing a whole lot of RDAs with squonkable options, or that are just straight up squonkable RDAs. The problem is, the reason why it hasn't, reemerged up until this point is because the mods, the squonk mods, they're harder to get and they're more expensive. They're just not in demand. And because they're not in demand, they're going to be more expensive. That's what I'm trying to say. As soon as they become more in demand, that price is going to drop and drop and drop because you're going to have more companies making them. So the other day I posted this doozy on my Instagram. If you don't know what my Instagram is, check it out. Links in the description. But on my Instagram, I posted, I said, Pulse 22 BF badass. The flavor I'm getting off this is just exceptional. The ease of use is just awesome. The build quality is great. It's a 22mm RDA bottom feeder squonker. But a little backstory for you. This is another collaboration. It's a collaboration between Tony B, who's a YouTube reviewer. Have you ever heard of Vapor Trail channel? Yep. He's a YouTube reviewer, vape reviewer. I'll post a link down in the description so you can find him. And then you got Stefan Z over at Vandy Vape. They collaborated to make this thing happen. And like I said, badass she is. So right now I got the Pulse BF22 sitting on this drone BF by Lost Vape. Got a full review on it coming soon. But yeah, the build, 0.3 ohm, fuse Clapton, 80 watts, airflow halfway open. You know the drill. Woo, look at her go, look at her chuck, and the flavor, like I said before, is just fantastic. It's badass. Is it the best flavor you had, Rip? From an RDA, it's pretty darn good. I mean, it's up there with the best of them. Airflow, smooth. Halfway open is restrictive. I'm going to take her wide open just to show you what she could do. Wide open. Now you got two big old holes on each side. They look like they're about 3.5, 4mm, but you got top, direct, slanted airflow. You got these two tubes on each side. This airflow is brilliant, man. If you like top, direct, slanted airflow like this, it's kind of like the Recoil RDA2, but even more extreme. And it's got this locking mechanism with this barrel, this bottom barrel. It locks into place, so it locks those tubes into place directly on each side of the coil. So they're not going to move. I'm digging it. Really am digging this product, especially for a squonkable RDA. So yeah, that's wide open. Oh yeah, now it's starting to get a little bit dry. So what I do is I just squeeze that bottle. There you go. You hear that? That suction sound? That means the juice fed to the wick into the coil. And usually it's just one squeeze and I'm good. I can get a few hits, 3 to 4 hits at 80 watts out of it. Wide open airflow. And there's no spit back, guys. None. Oh yeah. Take it to the side so you can see the vapor production. Chucking tits. But yeah, wide open on the airflow. Here she is again. Smooth. Airy, swooshy for you airflow hogs out there. I think you're going to like this. But I like her closed off halfway. I like to close off one of those slots. Oh yeah, it becomes nice and restricted, but still smooth. Gotta squeeze her again. That's what I love about this. It's really convenient. There we go. Oh, that was saturated. So here's what I've noticed about this device. The higher the wattage I take for the resistance I have in here, the better the flavor. You need more power is what I'm saying for that flavor to really come through. Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? Well, it's subjective. You know what? I'm going to take her to 100 watts. I mean, this is a big difference, guys. 80 to 100 watts, but I just want to show you. 100 airflow halfway open still. Let's go. Woo, it's hot, but the flavor, it's just retaining it and it's actually getting more flavorful. I mean, this thing really shines at higher wattages, guys. Let me give you another example. Let's say I were to have like a 0.2 or a 0.10 build in another device. I would say 80 to 100 watts with a 0.10 build for most other devices is good for me. But with this one, let's say I were to have a 0.10 build in here, okay, it'd be way over 100 watts. It'd be like 120, 130, 140 watts before I notice the flavor really starting to come through. And I mean, when the flavor does come through, it comes through great. And I think that has to do with the airflow. But Rip, is it better than other RDAs once you take the wattage up? Yeah, I think it's better than most. All the squonkers I've tried for sure. This is the best squonker I've tried in a long time. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here is the packaging for this Pulse 22 BF RDA by Vandy Vape and Tony B. And of course, inside that packaging, you're going to receive your Pulse 22 BFRDA along with an Ultim Goon Styles drip tip. You also get a black Goon Styles drip tip, and inside, look at that, it says a Tony B's Project. So you get a black option, or you can choose a stainless steel option. Comes with a Delrin 510 drip tip adapter. You receive a standard gold-plated 510 pin if you want to run this sucker in non-squonk mode. Included is a baggie of extra O-rings and 4 gold-plated grub nuts. You receive a blue Phillips head / hex tri-tool. And last but not least, a cool little feature, you receive a stainless steel 2mm rod inserter coil. Few specs for you, she's primarily made of stainless steel. She's 22mm in width and she's about 32mm in length depending on which drip tip you pop in here. Base of the deck is gold plated and it's got a protruding peak insulator, which means you could use this on your hybrid top cap devices. I mean, if you want to pop the non-squonkable pin in there, but it's got a protruding peak insulator. That's definitely a pro. You got your squonk pin in here right now because this is made specifically for squonking. It says Pulse 22, a Tony B's Project. It says manufactured by Vandy Vape. Now, these aren't scratches. That's just the sticky residue from the packaging, and that may be a con to some of you guys. It's a kind of a pain to clean it. But yeah, the gold-plated threads are nice and smooth. It's got direct top adjustable slanted airflow on both sides. You got 2 massive slots, right? And in order to adjust it, you grab a hold of this top cap and you just twist, and it is tight at first. When you get this, it's tight, but you can adjust it down to where you got 1 hole. This is my preferred, 1 hole on each side. Adjust it down even further, okay? Adjust it up. Like I said, a tight fit at first, but once you break in these O-rings and you juice them up, it's good to go. Wide open, close it off like this, close it off like this. You guys get the drift. Same thing on both sides. Whatever you adjust on this side is going to be the exact same on the other side. It comes pre-installed with a Ultim Goon Styles drip tip. Nice thick drip tip. This is a great drip tip and it fits snug as a bug. You got an O-ring embedded inside the top cap. Nice snuggy duggy fit. And there is just a slight gap there. That may be a con for you. Top cap pops off like so. There's the inside. And this does not pop out, okay? It looks like there's a seam there. You see that? Doesn't pop out. It's only one piece. Everything's nice and clean. This is straight out of the packaging, guys. And here's what she looks like with the top cap off. You got dual O-rings. You got your slanted top direct slots on one side, slanted top direct slots on the other. You got your tubes. Single coil is going to sit right in the middle. It's going to hit each side of the coil. I'm going to show you that in a second. Postless deck down there. Gold-plated postless deck. You got 1 notch right here, okay? You see that? Okay, and then you got 1 notch right there, and that's to help align this barrel right here because it's going to lock into place. Here at the top, it says Tony B, Vandy Vape, and then on the side, you got Pulse. Look at that. Pulse laser etched, then the Vandy Vape logo, laser etched. Screw this bad boy onto a mod and the barrel comes right off, and this is a tight fit, guys. These O-rings are super tight when you get it, but that's what you want. No leaking issues. Here's the inside of that bottom barrel, and you got your notches. See that? 1 notch on one side, 1 notch on the other. Machining on the inside of this barrel, it's not perfect by any means. Not completely smooth, just something to point out. But you got your tubes on one side, tubes on the other. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen, the gold-plated postless deck. Postless, like I said, you got Phillips head screws on one side, Phillips head screws on the other. You pull these Phillips head screws out, you pop your leads in there, and you tighten them back up. And what I love about this is this thing not only comes with Phillips head screws, but it also comes with grub screws. Dual O-ring right here, and like I said, tight fit. You got your notch on one side, notch on the other. Again, this thing locks into place. Peak insulator on one side, that's your positive connection. This is your negative connection. And you got this plate, like I mentioned in FaceTime, and when you squirt the juice up, it's going to shoot the juice out into the wick slots, and these are your wick slots on each side. Nice, man. They're not super deep wick slots, but they're pretty deep. Puts you like this. I've never had any leaking. Never had juice come out through the top airflow slots. And you got plenty of room. I mean, you could pop big old builds in there, or a big old build in there. That's what I mean. And check it out, the wire that I'm going to be using today is this Vandy Vape Fuse Clapton A1 Fuse Clapton. They sent me a box of stuff, and they offer, Vandy Vape, they offer a freaking whole slew of different wires. You can get A1, you can get nichrome, N80, you can get stainless steel. The box that they sent me, holy crap, look how many rolls, man. You get 5 rolls, each roll is 10 feet. I'm assuming you can buy a whole box of this if you want. I'll post links down in the description where you can check it out and where you can soon get some of this stuff. But the roll that I'm going to be using today, and it's all the same roll because this is A1 Fuse Clapton. It's 10 feet of it. Check it out. 26 gauge, 18 gauge, and 32 gauge Fuse Clapton, A1 Fuse Clapton. VandyVape.com, baby. Beautiful stuff. Absolutely gorgeous. Again, they offer a whole multitude of different wires. So here's a piece of this A1 Fuse Clapton that I'm going to be using today, and it is absolutely gorgeous. I cut about 4 inches of it. Go ahead and do 5 wraps. And it's never about how you start, it's all about how you finish. You can have the ugliest wraps at the beginning, but you can always get it nice and right. Clip it about right there. Insert my leads. I always clip it a little bit longer because if you want to clip it shorter, you can. Once you clip it shorter, you can't go longer. You dig? Tighten down my connections. Looking good, but we're not done. Not even close. What I'm going to do is I'm going to insert this bad boy, and I'm just going to twist it, turn it this direction, just like that. Just popped her on the drone BF by Lost Vape, and she's reading at 0.21 ohms. I'm going to start her at 49 watts. Oh, and look at that. Yeah, man. Looking good, and that's my space. Now look at this. The way this thing is designed, the way the screws are connecting with the lead. See how they're connecting flat? It makes it so much easier to work with. It's so much easier to get the hot spots out because of the way this thing is making connection. The way that Tony B designed this, phenomenal. See, with a Velocity style deck, for example, if you insert this build into a Velocity style deck, it's not going to make a flat connection. It's going to hit it from this angle right here, which makes it a lot harder to get the hot spots out, in my opinion. All this is going to be subjective. Beautiful. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this thing sit and cool off. Let it sit for about 5 minutes, let it cool off, and then we're going to insert our wick. You want it to be nice and tight, but not too tight, but not too loose at the same time. It's got to be right in the middle, just like that. See how you can see that squonk hole down there in the middle? That's what you want on both sides. Pull this down just a tad, and we're rocking. But look at it. It's filling up both those slots on both sides. Now what we got to do is hit the squonk bottle down here. Again, this is sitting on the Drone BF by Lost Vape. The juice that I'm going to be using today is Mr. Rips. This is my signature custard blend. It's like a Madagascar vanilla with a little bit of bourbon custard. And oh man, I designed this to perfection for my taste buds at least. And the good thing about this Mr. Rips is you could buy two different versions. You could buy a 70 VG, 30 PG, or a 50-50 blend. Two options. Yeah, buddy. But I'm telling you right now, boys and girls, this Mr. Rips is one hellacious custard. If you hadn't tried it, get you some. 25% off everything over at Vape Chick right now. Thanks 25. Use that code. Squeeze it, and it's just going to feed juice. Look at that. Hit the fire button. Oh, yeah, and we are rocking. Notch on this side right here. Look at that. Notch on this side. You just line these up. Okay, press down, twist, and it's locked into place. A little bit of wiggle room, but it's still going to hit each side of the coil evenly. Line up the slots. Since this section is locked into place, you can easily adjust the airflow without this section moving. I love it. Love this feature. And in squonk mode, you never have to take the top cap off and drip because you're just dripping from the base. You're just squeezing this bottle and it's shooting juice up through the base of the RDA. Killer, killer, killer. Love it. Flavor you get off this, like I said, once you start taking the wattage up, and it doesn't matter what resistance you have in here, when you start taking the wattage up, it is just phenomenal. Absolutely just gorgeous, gorgeous, lovely. It's extreme. It's saturated. You just biting into the flavor. The flavor, great, great, great. Like you guys saw, top direct tubular airflow. Great airflow, man. It's sitting right on each side of that coil. And it's smooth sailing. Smooth as a porn star's ass. Also, you get two drip tips. One Ultim Goon Stylus drip tip, compatible with all your Goon drip tips, your Kennedy drip tips, 810 drip tip compatible. The ease of use, it's got that postless gold-plated deck, man. It's easy to pop your single coil builds in there. Love that plate that sits underneath the coil, too, so when that juice hits it, it shoots it out to the side. And I also really like how the bottom barrel locks into place, so it's not going anywhere. And when it locks into place, you know that airflow is not moving. Adjusting the airflow, smooth restriction, baby. Comes with not only 2 Phillips head screws, but you get 4 extra grub nuts. And personally, I'm really digging these Phillips head screws, man. Haven't stripped them once. They're solid. Build quality for this, top notch, especially for the price point. For those of you guys who like 22mm RDAs, you're gonna love this. Because the way this thing is designed, I have never had any leaking with this. Not once. And like I said before, spit back, very minimal. So I mentioned the flavors banging, right? Also, the vapors banging as well. Oh yeah, this thing comes with a 510 drip tip adapter, so you can use your preferred standard 510 drip tips if you please. Another thing, it also comes with that rod. You guys saw that in the close-ups, that stainless steel rod for your coil? Pretty cool. And last but not least, price point for this Mamma Jamma, $30. I'll post links down in the description to the sites that I know of that are selling this Buppa puppy chucker, chuckin' flucker, chuckin' chucker. I'll post links down in the description. Check them out. But yeah, I think it's definitely worth it. Definitely a steal for what you get. So good. So freaking good. Now on to the big question, the big answer of the day. Do I even need to answer it for 30 bucks for what you get for the vape quality, for all the experiences that I've had with this? Hell yeah. Products like this Pulse 22 BF are going to make freaking squonking reemerge for sure, in my opinion. You're going to be seeing squonkers all over the place. So I hope you guys liked the video, found it enjoying, entertaining, and helpful. If you did like it, well then like the video down below. And if you want to see more of me, subscribe for more. This is Rip Trippers, and remember, smoking is dead. Vaping is the future, and the future is now.